Heidi ho, friends and foes. Foes? Do I have foes? I don't think I do. I don't know. Anyway, welcome in if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here before. This is Zane back with another speed build for you on this most majestic Sunday. Or at least I hope it's majestic for you guys because it's technically not Sunday for me. So I haven't quite found out if it's going to be majestic or not, but I hope it is. I guess we'll see at some point. Anyway, on to the build. This is actually not what I was originally planning on posting today. Originally, I was going to post this warehouse renovation that I've been working on in Brendleton Bay, but I'm part of the Discord for Miss Griffey. If you don't subscribe to her, definitely check her out. She's great. She's also on Twitch, but which is where I found the Discord link and finally joined in there. But they've got an inspiration channel in her Discord, and people were posting all these different pictures of these little doll houses that they wanted to create. And I saw one that was really, really cute and decided to try to build it in The Sims, and for the most part, it came out okay. There were definitely some issues with the roofing, and you can't fit all the things up in the roof that the actual little dollhouse does, but I mean, the roof's trying to put stuff up in the roof is just a pain. Like where I've got the ladder there ends up moving like across the room because it let me put it there, and it let her, when I play tested it, it let her climb up it and stand there, but it wouldn't let her actually walk around to the other side where the bed was. So I had to play around with it a little bit. But as you can see, I did get the country kitchen kit. Um, the only one of the three I've bought. I don't. I may at some point get the. Is it bust the dust? I think is what it's called, or dust the vacuum one, the gameplay one. I may get that one at some point, but I know I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram and different places having a lot of issues with sort of how the gameplay works and the dust just cluttering up and getting really dirty really, really fast, and it just kind of being a little too much. So I may get that one at some point if it maybe if it goes on sale or something, but I don't think I'll ever get the cast one. What is it? Throwback fit kit, I think is what it's called. I don't spend a lot of time in casts. If you haven't noticed, I do gameplay and I build a lot. But I don't know. If I make a sim, I'm usually pretty quick about getting in casts and getting a few outfits and picking their traits, which is what I focus on more in casts, is like their actual traits than anything else. And then I head right out to a lot and get on with my gaming, and I don't spend a lot of time in there. But I did want to use that in here. I built this for the actual original inspiration for the dollhouse was very old country vibes, but I don't know. I ended up building it for like a little old grandma who likes to knit, and that's why I picked that wallpaper too, because it's just I don't know. That wallpaper reminds me of grandma's. I don't know why it does. It just does. But I ended up using the country kitchen because it fit the vibe that I was going for, and I messed around with a lot of wall shelves, as you can see. I cut out part of it because I went back and forth with I don't even remember how many different ones, and they're all just they're so big. And like the two I ended up going with, which is the one I just put up, and then another one that I do later that I end up raising up. You'll see here in a minute. I put like a built-in like console kind of thing for like the TV down below. But yeah, here we go. But they're all so big. I always have to size them down just to make them look like normal, usable, like they aren't this giant monster coming out of the wall. Um, I don't know. They're just way too much. But yeah, here we go. This is where I build the little like console type thing for the TV. I don't know what else to call it. But those two are resized wall shelves, just a little basic like plank of wood, and I just sized them up one and put them there. And that I think is the final for the shelves, if I remember right. I think I put a window behind where the TV is, and then I spent a lot of time cluttering this up. And I don't have is it the tool mod, the red shelf? I've been thinking of downloading the mod and actually trying it out. I think it would come in really useful when I clutter up little spaces and stuff like this. Never actually used it though, but I've seen a lot of different builders that have used it, but I don't really know how to use it. I don't know how complicated it is to learn it, but if you guys have any tips, if you've ever used it before, let me know down in the comments. I'd really like to hear more from people who've actually used it on what it's like, how useful it is, if there's any glitches or issues or anything like that. But it definitely looks like it's a very, very useful mod for actually getting things placed on shelves. Because I know for I put it's the plant from, I don't know why that shelf went purple. I really don't. I had to delete it and copy another one in, but there's like the one of the little plants from Paranormal, and then like the books there from Tiny Living, and then it's like the little cat like succulent planter that I end up putting next to the TV. Without that red shelf, it's like it's on it, but it's technically like a little too low. But if you raise it up one more, then it's floating, which is really really annoying. The same with that little llama thing. I just gave up and ended up putting, I think it's two of those little llama things from Nifty Knitting in like the little dining room bump out. As you can see, lots of clutter. There's the little cat succulent. I love that thing. And the little dog one too. They're really cute. This was in another build I did recently. But yeah, just cluttering up all the little shelf holes, all that little places. I went with just a basic curtain, and I gave her a little, I guess it's technically a desk, like the little knitting desk around the backside, and that little triangle table. I wish we had more of those. I think that's from the bowling pack, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure it's the bowling pack. I should know. I just started building a bowling alley recently, and need to actually go back and finish it because I did not like how the outside was looking. I kind of just got frustrated and gave up on it for now, but I've got some ideas after driving around town and looking at the different bowling alleys that are in my area, which the one is basically just like a giant warehouse that was kind of converted into a bowling alley at some point when I was like a little kid. So it's not the best example to use, but it's not the worst either. And then the other one is next to the mall that's it's about 10 miles south of my exit off the highway, but they built like this whole big like restaurant and shopping center area back there, and there's this huge movie theater that's got like an attached mini bowling alley. Like the lanes and everything are normal sized, but there's maybe like 4 or 5 lanes instead of like an actual bowling alley that's going to have like 30. um and it's a weird building too. It's not like a warehouse, but it is attached to a movie theater, and movie theaters are always kind of huge and awkward and weird. But it's got this gigantic bowling pin, like probably as big as my house. Um, and when you are driving down the highway, if you are going southbound past it, like if you go past that exit instead of getting off like I normally do, it's you can see it from the highway. It's taller than the trees because it's right up against like the parking lot and everything. There's like a retaining wall, but it's right up against the highway. So you're just driving along and there's this giant bowling pin, and I mean it's a little unsettling. It looks really really weird from that angle. I went back and forth here with ladder colors. I wanted to get something that matched the wood up. There's a little tiny view of the upstairs. I didn't spend a whole lot of time there. There's just a little dresser, a nightstand, and then I did fit a double bed up there, but I went through, I don't even remember how many dressers trying to find something that wouldn't appear through the roof just because of how cramped and small that upstairs is. So I ended up going with that little flat one, and where it is on that diagonal fence is right next to where the ladder ends up being. I don't think I actually recorded that because I was playing, or I was building this and then kind of finished it. Didn't really think about it until I finished recording and was like going through and checking like little things, and then I realized that she probably could get up the ladder, but probably wouldn't be able to get around to where the bed is. So I play tested it earlier while I was editing this to see if it was. So I don't think I actually recorded it. I remember right. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Um, so the ladder ends up moving like right next to where the little pink sofa is, and I just put just like one little panel of wall, and I put some columns on the side to just make it look a little more intentional. And the ladder is basically right next to the bed, so she can just go right up it and right into the bed and right to the dresser and the laundry basket I end up putting in there. And I went, I mean, not too crazy with the landscaping, but I don't usually use the terrain tool a lot. I'm still figuring out how to use all of the different parts of it because there's really no tutorial or explanation or anything. It's just kind of there. Oh, this is another part with like placing like all these little flowers and bushes and everything on like the slopes. That's part of the reason I don't use the terrain tool, because if you use the terrain tool and you don't have the tool mod or the red shelf or any of that, you can't actually adjust the height of these flowers, so they kind of end up looking like they're floating, which is why I tried to like put a lot of rocks in, just to one, to give it a little more depth, but also to kind of hide where like some of the bushes and stuff were just floating because it's not a good look, Sims team. I don't know why they don't give us a way to adjust that, or just have all the plants outside. Just whatever the ground's doing, just have it attached to it somehow. I don't know. But yeah, I put a lot of flowers and bushes and all sorts of stuff all around. Just made it a little green. Kind of tucked her house back into a little naturey space. It's very pink and white and very crisp and clean looking. And I used those debug vines from Discover University. I think it's Discover University. I love those vines. They are. I wish they weren't hidden in debug. I wish they were just normal ivy vines that were just always in build by. We're almost done here. I just put a little space out back for her to do her laundry. Just a little clothes drying rack and a little wash basin and like a sink and a few other little bushes and rocks and things like that. Nothing too fancy for grandma, just a little spot where she can wash her clothes. But anyway, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment, any of those other fun YouTube things, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone. Well, I lied. Not goodbye yet. Hello again. I decided it would be a little easier to do just a tour instead of screenshots because this house is so little, it's hard to actually get good angles into it for different screenshots. But this is the front porch. I put a few little planter boxes, a little flower box on the window, a little rocking chair so she can knit outside when it's not gross and nasty and raining. I built this in Newcrest on one of the little, it's a 20 by 15 lot if I remember right. And then the inside, put the walls up. There we go. I did change out some of the wallpaper. I went with that blue. I liked how it looked. But I did use the one that makes me think of grandma's, this little like cream colored one. I used that in like the bathroom, which I totally cut the bathroom out of the speed build because bathrooms are kind of boring. Landscaping's a little more interesting. And just all the cluttering. It's a little more interesting to watch, I think. But this is where I ended up moving the ladder to. So there's just a little, you go down into the, what you call this, first person point of view. I don't know, I'm not good at POVs. Not POVs. First person shooters and stuff like that. I'm awful at that. You get me in this view and I just get completely lost. But yeah, clutter. Some combined shelves. I don't remember how many packs I used for this, but it was probably quite a few because I was not paying attention to it. Ignore that hole in the ceiling because when you don't ignore it, it makes the roof, or not the roof, some of the windows just kind of disappear. You go into this view and put the roof on. So hi Vines, how you doing? This is my little tester sim for this lot. This is the kitchen. Crazy. Her little knitting space. Her cutesy little dining room with those little llamas. My lovely little llamas clipping through the curtain. That's okay, you do you, girl. Anyway, yeah, roof doesn't clip there, just clips over here. Anyway, yep, just ignore how everything just vanishes. We're magicians. And up the ladder, and this is the little bedroom space. She can get up here. We'll actually demonstrate here in a second. Ooh, that was some camera work. Yeah, she can get up here to sleep, which is great. Have a nap there, girl. You deserve it. This is just the outside. I think it came out pretty nice. Little space for her laundry, another little planter box on the back, some more trees, some lovely views, lots and lots of flowers. Like nature around here. Oh, and I put some lights out. I could cut that from the speed build. I just watched it, so I'm pretty sure I did. But there are lights in all the flowers, so it looks lovely, and I put her a little mailbox. And yeah, that is the build. If you like it, it is up on the gallery. My ID on there is zavocado, Z-A-V-O-C-A-D-O, basically avocado with just a Z attached to the front of it, because, I don't know, just because. I don't even remember how I got that online nickname, but it was many years ago and I did, and I just kind of use it for everything now. But yeah, if you like this video, eh, click that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, subscribe, any of those other clicky YouTube weird things, and I will see everyone for the next video. Bye, guys.